Cool. Hi, and welcome back to the Red Corner. I'm here with my man LG. What's up, LG?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Big up everybody, big up the chat, big up all the comments that are going to be coming in. Looking forward to discussing this.
Yeah, man. So good to be back. I'm Tish. This is actually our second episode, and first of all, just want to
Yeah.
say a big thank you to everybody for all the love we've received around our first episode that we released last week. Uh, we've got so much coming for you guys, so just keep it locked, like and subscribe on the channel, and we'll, as time goes by, we'll let you know about other new shows that we'll be introducing and stuff. But before we get into today's show, I just want to let you guys know that tomorrow we will be doing a live watch along for the Arsenal and Man United game. So
Arsenal for
make
the
sure
win, baby. Yeah.
we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one. But
Get it.
yeah, be sure to keep it locked in. Yeah, we'll be giving you guys commentary and watching it along and banter and all that cool stuff while the game's going on. But for today, as the thumbnail says, we're talking transfers. The biggest news, I think, of the window so far is Barcelona want Marcus Rashford. So Marcus Rashford has been linked to a few clubs. He's been linked to Juventus. He's been linked to AC Milan. He's been linked to Borussia Dortmund. Is being linked to the Arsenal. We'll get back to that one. But last night, news broke that Barcelona say that they want to go all out. The news actually says Barcelona are going all out for Marcus Rashford. They will bid strongly to secure him on loan until the end of the season. Initial direct contact, took place this week between Barcelona and the players' camp. This was broken by a guy called Tony Juan Marti, but it was also co-signed by Fabrizio, the tap-in merchant. So, so yeah, Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. What do you think about that, bro?
Look, like with every window, every club gets linked with pretty much anyone and everyone in the zoo, and if you're lucky, 2 to 3 or 4% of it will all be correct or true, will come true, right? But nonetheless, let's assume that there's a link, or I guess let's ask the question whether we think there's a link or not. Honestly, I don't see it, and I don't think so, for a couple of reasons, right? I think Marcus Rashford is one of those players where, for a long time, we've been talking about him being a young talent and, that he has great potential and that eventually will get there.
Yeah.
And to my shock, I think he's 27 now, right? Somewhere there.
Yeah. Somewhere there. I think it's 27, if not turning 28. Let me just check it quickly. But yeah, it's 27. It's 27.
Yeah,
Yeah. So the time for potential is gone, bro.
exactly. The time for potential is gone. So now the question is, what exactly does he offer, right?
Yeah.
Because I think only on 1 or 2 occasions he scored anywhere close to 30 goals or had goal involvements in a season per se. There we go, only once. And it came conveniently, I think, at the time where it was time to negotiate a new contract because his current deal was expiring,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. It was. It's amazing. It's amazing to me how this last year, let's say last 12, let's stretch it, 18 months to 12 months to 6 months going into the end of a deal. Players just seem to like take it up a notch, man. Their
The
form
longest
just
purple patch. Yeah.
bro, their form just goes crazy, and you're like, oh my god, where have you been? Where have you been, bro?
No, I think my honest assessment is that he played for a new contract and
Mm.
he duped Man United accordingly that he should get the new contract because as soon as he got it, he did. He just
Yeah,
completely slipped and fell off. But anyway, this is not let's jump on Marcus Rashford. This is do I believe that Barcelona are in for him. Personally, I would.
yeah.
I
I,
I
I think it's
I, I
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
see it, but at the same time, I don't. Right?
yeah.
Because
I
if I
think it's
think
legit.
of
It's legit. Let me just before
yeah.
you land your point. So I mean, we all know what's happened now with the club. First, the club were putting out briefings saying that we would consider selling Rashford, or however they were
Mm,
phrasing it. And then Rashford, we know, gave that interview saying that he might look for a new challenge. Yeah, and there's been the whole thing. I think it's 6 or 7 games now with Emirates not playing him. and so
He was ill.
it's yeah, ill and all sorts of things, but like I think it's legit that the club want to get rid of him. They've been briefing their journalists and all the papers. So Ineos has a relationship with, I think, the Telegraph. So whenever you see stories coming from the Telegraph, like that are Man United related and they look like they've got some insider vibe kind of thing, 9 times out of 10 it's the club that's briefing whatever agenda they want to push. So and then his brother is his agent. His brother has been seen like in all these cities,
Reportedly
like
in Catalonia.
yeah, and he's been in Milan. They actually spoke to the guys in Milan. They're going on a, let's not say world tour, a Euro tour, to all the top clubs. I mean, they have spoken to Juventus. They have spoken to AC Milan, who he was actually strongly linked with. They've spoken to Dortmund as well, and so and he was, yes, reportedly in Catalonia, like I said, in Barcelona. So I'm pretty sure that the chat have happened with the agent. Whether that's going to materialize is another thing, but I'm pretty sure that this is not just like rumors that are coming out from
So
thin
I
air.
think
They're rooted in something tangible, I think.
no. So what I was doubting was more from Barcelona's perspective. Why would they want Rashford? If I was sitting in Barcelona's camp and I was making the case for Rashford, how would I go with it, right? Because obviously we all know that Barcelona hails technically gifted footballers who offer more than just one dynamic at a time to the team, right? Someone that can actually get in there and do quite a bit for the team, as opposed to just hanging on the wing, waiting for the ball over the top just to score, and I do nothing else. And that's pretty much it.
Power and pace merchant, and I don't
Exactly.
I don't even know about the power so much, but power and pace merchant.
Exactly. But at the same time, Hansi Flick did to Barcelona what I think we haven't seen in a very long time. In that, guys, he said, this tiki-taka to the side. My philosophy is I'd like to get the ball forward as quickly as possible so I can score.
Yeah.
I don't want to be cute about it and pass it 400 times before getting there. Obviously, look, it's not just hoof the ball forward or whatever the case may be, but their philosophy is as quickly as possible, let's go forward. So that a part of my brain is like, okay, if that's the case, then it makes sense, right? Because he is a pace and power merchant. Debatable on the power bit, but at least the pace is there. And he's an outlet then if you want to get the ball forward as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
But I mean, that being said, you still need very good decision making, which he has not demonstrated to have consistently, number one. Number two, you still have to work extremely hard off the ball. Flick demands that. He has not done that for the longest time, right? And at the same time, he doesn't strike me as someone that's focused on football, if that makes sense. I think he strikes me as someone he's a bit too busy outside, and football is just a thing he does to put food on the table.
It's actually crazy with that, because like he'll tell you that, like, you know, I do the same thing that all other footballers do. Look, the reality is, right, he is at Man United, right? And we know that there's a major spotlight on Man United, right? It's one of those clubs. There's a few clubs around the world where whatever you do, you're going to be under the spotlight, under the microscope. So he's there, but like, and I think he was hinting at people like Jack Grealish and guys like that, who he was like, bruh, these guys are doing the exact same thing that I'm doing, but it's like for them it's kind of like, it's okay, cool, but for me, when I'm doing things that normal footballers do, then it's Marcus Rashford, there's front page, back page, middle page, every page, and like whatever. I think that's his frustration. If I put myself in his shoes, and
did he also include in his little rant or monologue helping a team win a treble as well and being a key component of it?
Yeah, you know,
not, right?
when you're fighting your case, you omit those inconvenient facts, of course.
Exactly.
So for me, man, it's a crazy one with Marcus Rashford, because he's one of those guys who you'd think, I mean, he was born in Manchester, born and bred. He's been in the academy since he was a kid, you know, grew up. And I think when you look at a story like this, you know, more times than less, you know, these are the type of players who end up retiring at the club and being a one club man kind of thing, generally. Obviously, there's exceptions here and there. And like, you know, and then you saw how his trajectory was going, and I mean, he came on fire. I think his first game was against Arsenal, came through with the brace.
And Van Gaal, I think.
Yeah, Van Gaal, and then I think later on in that week, he played, and it was due to injury, right? Everybody was injured, so came through with that brace on his debut, and then that later that week, I think we were in the Europa League, and he made his debut there as well. and I think he may have scored a hat trick, either a brace or a hat trick, but like he killed it there. And, he won the fans over immediately. In fact, I remember it was a case of he scored a brace against Arsenal, and the next day he was writing his exams or something like that. So that was a funny thing. And, we've seen him grow, before our eyes, grow at least like physically, and be there for a long time in the club. And I think if you go 10 years back, in the eyes of us, our fans, we thought this guy was going to be a proper superstar and like, a killer in front of goals, a bags man for United. And yeah, unfortunately, it hasn't turned out that way. And I don't know what it is, because you can point to the fact that like this dude has had so many coaches, right? Van Gaal, and then was at Mourinho afterwards, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ralph Ragnick, Eric Ten Hag, and now Ruben Amorim. But like, and all of those guys obviously have their own flavor and tactically their own instructions and all sorts of stuff. But I think as a footballer, you own your career as well, right? It's not, you can't just hide behind the fact that, oh, these coaches are telling me different things to do. It's your career. You must be the one to grab it by the scruff of the neck and make something of it, right? Irrespective of who's in charge. And it just feels like this guy has just sort of, feels like he's just been on cruise control, just going with the motion. I'll go wherever the river sways me or where the tide sways me. And like, it was one of those where Jiggy Jiggy one day he wakes up and he's like, oh, snap. I'm 27 now. That like, I mean, and I hope he's had that realization. He's got his mega contract now, but like, it's one thing for us to say this dude is not scoring goals, this guy's football IQ is not whatever, all of that stuff, right? Those are critiques and criticisms people can give you. But for people to look at you and be like, this guy, his body language doesn't look great on the pitch. This guy looks like he's not running. Like, bro, you lose the ball, and then you just watch the guy with the ball right next to you. You don't try win it back. You don't press or whatever, and you walk back. You've lost the ball. Your team is suffering a counter, and you're just sort of like walking back, and you're like, I know those guys at the back, they'll sort it out. I'm just gonna hang around here. That's nonsense, man. So I'm just hoping that wherever he goes, new country, new culture, new vibes, and just that whole thing of wanting to prove yourself as well. Something happens and something clicks in him, and he gets serious about football, because, bro, otherwise it's gonna be a tragedy. It's gonna be a tragedy, bro.
Yeah, and I think another thing as well that's making me question it is obviously there's a belief or a rumor that Nico Williams will also be going to Barcelona, and he also plays on that left, right? So it's also, even from that perspective, right? He's on big wages. He's not going to take a massive cut to go to Barcelona, so they're going to have to pay a substantial portion of those wages. And it's not like
they're going to be pulling one of the million levers there. Hey, those guys. How the heck did they register Danny Olmo and Pau Torres?
I don't know what they did. I don't know what they did. Look, rumor has it that these guys financially are actually fine.
Yeah.
I keep hearing a couple of people make comments like that, so I don't know what to make of it. All I know is that they register their players, though.
Yeah.
They always keep on doing it, and they're fine, right? It's not like they're filing for bankruptcy or whatever. Look, that's a story for another day. But I think it's not like a Lewandowski, right? Where, yes, he's on big wages, but he's going to deliver. There's definitely output there.
Yeah.
So the problem with Marcus Rashford is that massive resources, massive wages, a massive outlay of cash on a weekly basis, and possibly with a fee up front. And what exactly am I getting that otherwise I cannot get from, say, a talent from the academy?
You're getting PR,
That's
bro.
going to be the challenge.
You're getting PR. You're getting positive PR. Good guy vibes. He's fed. He's fed the kids in the UK, and now he's gonna go feed the kids in Spain. It's gonna.
Yeah, but remember, we're dealing with a country in Spain where the fans are not the same as English fans, right? They will get in your face if you're not performing, right? Yeah. These people will have cussed out Lionel Messi. They've cussed out Cristiano, right? Yeah. They've waited outside, smashing cars. Busy slapping and shouting at players as they're driving out. These fans are crazy.
Yeah, was it Figo He went from Madrid to Barca, right? That way, right?
Other way around, I think.
Was it the other way around? They would throw like pigs' heads on the stadium and
exactly
all sorts of. Those guys are serious, bro. Those guys are serious.
Those people are serious about football. They listen. We don't mess about here. You can mess around in your own personal life. On the pitch, you take it seriously. Otherwise, you will know us very well. Like those people are like, I wouldn't even say the extreme, right? I think they have standards and it's personal to them.
Yeah,
it's a big deal. They will walk out the stadium. They will cause a fuss if they're not seeing what they want to see. So if he thinks English media and press are onto him, Spain is not the place for him then.
Hey, bro.
It just isn't.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be that. And then obviously, like the reality, we know the racism things going on there as well. And
Yeah,
if you go there and like you're not like and not as an excuse or whatever, but we know this is what's gonna happen, right? If he goes
exactly.
there and he doesn't perform, that's also gonna be like,
Oh,
bro, he's gonna be
oh
under
my goodness.
fire,
I
bro.
mean, dude,
Oh,
Vinny gets racially abused,
bro.
and he's won them Champions Leagues. It's
Yeah,
like
bro.
you have to perform
Exactly.
there.
Yeah.
You just have to perform, and it'll be a massive gamble. If I was in Barcelona's camp, I don't know why you're getting anywhere near this deal. Literally, the guy just got axed by his manager, and even the circumstances where he just came out saying, "I'm looking for a new challenge." Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
optically to the public, it's like you get dropped for a big game. The manager says you didn't like what he saw in training. Next thing you say you want to leave.
But
That
yet you
just
talk,
looks
yeah. But you're talking as if Barcelona are coming from a point of making sound financial decisions and all sorts of stuff. So there's also that element of
true.
it as well, right? But like just before the Barcelona, because the Barcelona thing, like I think it broke last night.
Recent.
Yeah.
Mm,
Before that, it looked like AC Milan were really trying to push there because they were talking about things like they want him there and they were telling him that, dude, we're going to build this team around you. Wages are obviously always an issue.
yeah.
So I think they were only going to, for the loan, they were only going to cover half of his wages.
Mm.
United were going to have to cover the rest. And I don't even know how Barcelona are going to, hey, but Barcelona and their wages, let me not say anything because I don't understand. But this is a problem. Marcus Rashford is on way too high wages, and wherever
Mm.
from us as a club, wherever we send him, unless
You're gonna cover a
Barcelona does a
substantial
madness,
portion.
we're gonna cover a substantial portion.
Mm.
And I think it just is what it is because at the moment
Yeah,
we're paying him now anyways, right? And he's
for
not
nothing.
playing for
Exactly.
nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
So we might as well pay him half and at least have him go somewhere and try rekindle some of his form and maybe boost his value up. But
Yep.
yeah, he's one of the last few people on stupid contracts from the previous regime. But yeah, we'll see. We'll keep an eye out on this Marcus Rashford thing and see where it goes. I wish him all the best, but he better get the heck out of my club. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah. While we're on United, before we go there, there was this Casemiro thing and this
Mm.
Casemiro to Saudi thing, and
Yep,
apparently he was
yep.
gonna get 650K and he was gonna go play for Al Nassr. They were talking about Ronaldo, pushing for him to come through and stuff, and then it just fizzled because it was at a point where they were like this guy, it's imminent, everything's all but agreed, and this thing's
Mm,
about to
mm.
go on, and then now there's stories breaking up saying no, that was just rumors and there's no truth to it or whatever. So that one's a bit of a problem for me because I think if we could get rid of Casemiro and Rashford this window, dude, then we're going into
It'd
the
be a massive win.
summer. We
Yep.
are massive win. We're going into the summer ready.
Mm, mm.
So we'll see how that goes. We're linked with Kolo Muani. I don't know how to think about that. I don't know how to feel about that, man. Yeah, that guy feels like he's not it, bro. He's
I
not
mean,
it.
he
He's
had
not it.
one good season. PSG
Yeah,
splashed the cash on him.
yeah. Where
What
was
has
he?
he
Was
done
he from
since?
Frankfurt, right? Before,
Yeah,
is it?
I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah,
Frankfurt, German league,
yeah,
Bundesliga.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
all I
yeah.
know.
Germany. Yeah,
Yeah, he had like an amazing output for like one season or a
yeah,
couple
yeah,
of
yeah,
games or
yeah,
whatever, and
yeah,
they splashed the cash, and
yeah.
it's been dead since. But then again, I mean, let's not act like PSG is actually not rebuilding. They are rebuilding if you think about it, right? They tried
Yeah.
the superstar thing, and the last of it was the likes of Mbappe, who
Mm.
just left now, beginning of this, during the summer on a free,
Yeah.
and now it's almost like they're building a football club real again, like
Yeah.
properly. You're properly building a club.
Yeah.
Get good talent, good players, a healthy balance of experience and talent. Get a good coach, get a philosophy going, and
Mm.
just mine it out patiently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, one could argue that maybe that's why his form is what it is. Because I mean, there's the likes of Gonzalo Ramos as well.
yeah, and they bought him
Um,
and they bought Ramos and Moani at the same time, right? Same window. And like it was a bit weird. Like, why are you getting these two guys at the yeah? I think at the time though they were there was that whole Mbappe, is he gonna leave? Is he gonna go and
exactly,
whatever? And they were
exactly.
covering for that. But yeah, no, he just doesn't fit. But yeah, I'm not too keen on that one, to be honest. I'm much rather have the other guy we're linked to at PSG as well, Nuno Mendes. Because that left wing
You
back
guys
position
need
for
wing
us.
backs. You guys
Right.
need wing backs. Serious.
Yeah, exactly. So I would hope that if we do anything this window, we get a wing back, we get a left wing back. Even if we just sign that and get rid of people, that will be a good window for me, because I know that we're obviously not going to do extensive work this January. And also it's hard to come by good deals in January. But just while I'm saying this, I see Antonio Conte has confirmed that Kvaratskhelia has asked to leave the club. So he's definitely going to move. We know he's advanced with PSG. PSG is going for it, but there's a whole bunch of clubs circling. I think David Ornstein said Liverpool were keen. Chelsea is also lurking. And we know that all the big clubs actually are watching the situation, whether it's public or not. We know that everybody's looking at him. So it'll be interesting to see where he ends up. He'll be perfect at Arsenal, actually.
Yeah, we're not getting it. We're not getting it. But anyway, we'll get to Arsenal in a bit. It's rather interesting because he was hot property for like 2-3 seasons running, and I think when Conte went to Napoli, I knew straight away that some of that creative flair up front might suffer, because obviously he's considered a pragmatic manager.
Yeah,
very good manager, by the way.
Yeah.
Phenomenal manager, exceptional
for sure.
But he has his philosophy, right? And his philosophy is more around hard work. Let's defend very well and let's be clinical when we get to the front. And very creative players typically suffer from that, because it's the donkey work that they don't do quite well, or that they aren't willing to do. It's the getting up in players' faces that they don't do quite well. It's what happens when we play on transition and that's all you've got, right? What happens when let's get the ball quickly as forward as possible, let's get the ball in the back of the net as quickly as possible, right? Let's take advantage of the fact that we've been sitting deep for as long as what we have. Now we're on a break. Forget pretty, forget cute, get the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Players like that tend to suffer. Even Hazard himself said he didn't enjoy his football the most, but he acknowledged that he was at his best under Conte at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was efficiency and output. And Kvaratskhelia, however you pronounce his name, I have basically I have question marks about his efficiency. Obviously, very good quality player technically, lots of flair, can dribble, can run at a defense, whatever.
Yeah.
But the likes of Conte want efficiency. And if Conte is okay for you to leave, being that caliber player, probably in his view, you're not efficient.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. Well, will be interesting. Like, I think he's going to be, I think that's going to be the hot property for the window. He's going to be the main guy. Rashford is a side show, but like, I think he's going to be the main guy. Will be interesting to see that. And just before we wrap up on United, I'm just seeing a thing here. David Ornstein has recently said that there is a feeling inside United that the Joshua Zirkzee signing. There's a feeling inside. It's because you can't. No, it's because somebody told him, but he can't drop names. So it's just there's murmurings I'm hearing. But apparently the inside of United is feeling that Joshua Zirkzee was a mistake and hasn't really gone to plan. So they're admitting that already at the stage. He said he doesn't want to go anywhere this window. And I suppose we can't force him just yet. But man, we've had so many misses in the windows. We need now, like, it feels like now every window has to be a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. 8 if you're really 8 if you're really pushing it, but even 8 is a bit 9 to 10 out of 10 windows. That's what
it shouldn't be too difficult, right? I think from a departures perspective, you're going to struggle to get that number to a 9 consistently every window. But at least with incomings, because you see, the problem with United is you haven't had a manager for 6, 7, 8, 9 years straight. You just backed no matter what.
Yeah.
It's always half-assed, right? It's like you sort of back him. Maguire's too expensive, Mourinho. Sorry, we can't give him to you, type of thing. And then he gets sacked, and now you have to redo the whole thing again. And then
you buy Maguire anyways the next window.
And
then there wasn't for more, and that's like what the heck, bro? Like,
you see what I'm saying? So how these transfer windows go, right, is you either make club signings, i.e., as a club, this is our player, and our managers have to be a profile that can get the best out of X amount of players. The risk with that is that a manager might come and say, but I can't get the best out of him, please move on. That's what you risk. But nonetheless, you can make club signings. That's one way of going about it. Another way of going about it is, Amorim needs wing backs. Yes. He needs 10s. He needs 8s that can dictate midfield. Ugarte had a blinder the other game against Liverpool. Bruno's not your 8. Kobe's not your 8. So that's a gap now. You understand? And look, you can put Eriksen there if you want to, but he's running out of legs. You can put Cass there. He's running out of legs. You need a proper 8. So either way, buy an 8 that can work in any system, basically, that can sit deep and dictate
Yeah.
midfield and dictate play.
I'd definitely like someone there. I think long term, I think Kobe can be an 8, but I think he's not an 8 for all occasions right now.
No.
You can use him in certain games, but he still has to grow, like in terms of
He's a kid.
Also, he's a kid. Yeah, so nothing against him. Like, we know he's a phenomenal talent. He just needs the time to develop and stuff. So it would be great having someone there that he can alternate with, but also cover for Ugarte, because if Ugarte goes out, then we are really screwed.
If he gets injured, you guys are over. It's finished.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, we'll see, man. But moving over to the Emirates, you mentioned Nico Williams earlier there when we were talking about Barcelona. But what do you think about that rumor?
Chief, I was having such a good day. You just had to switch it over to Arsenal, didn't you? But then again, it's in the title probably, so I should have known that this is coming. Here's the problem with the Emirates, right? We are linked with a heck of a lot. We are not going to get anywhere near that. And we have a history as a club, especially in Jan, for not doing what's required for us to get over the line, be it for silverware or be it just to progress. Like, even getting into top 4 that window, we didn't do much. We are 8 points clear, chasing a title. We didn't do much to sort of get into that window.
We're chasing another league title. Refuses to get a striker, by the way.
We have a manager that doesn't believe in strikers all of a sudden, right? A manager that's bought 100 defenders and still we're leaking goals more than what we did last season. I mean, after finishing a season with the best defense, you'd imagine that the last thing you need is a defender, right? Yeah. Who knows? So that's our problem. And we've needed 3 or 4 players probably from a year or 2 ago already. We've needed 2 or 3 or 4 players, probably even 5 quality additions to the squad. So now we are walking into a window with key injuries to the likes of Bukayo Saka, number 1. We are realizing very slowly that Odegaard is not him. He just isn't. Sorry. He's not your creative spark that's going to spam passes and create chances and take shots left, right. He's just not that guy.
I used to think Odegaard was your best player, but I think it's definitely Saka. It's definitely Saka.
No. Listen, I watch Arsenal. I watch him a lot. I used to think that until I just paid attention to the way that he plays. Yeah. Too many touches, holds on too long for the ball, holds on too long onto the ball. He doesn't really change games, and in big games he goes missing more often than not. So I mean, stat padding and scoring a couple of goals against the likes of Burnley and your sort of other smaller teams for me means nothing as a Arsenal.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
I wouldn't think it against the best.
Yeah. It's weird. I wouldn't think he's the type of guy who to have a disaster class in him, but he's been dropping a few every now and then.
I think part of that also has to do is he fit? Because we know our manager is synonymous for playing guys when they're not fit. I mean, Thomas Partey was...
He had that big injury, didn't he, earlier in the season? So now, off the back of your question, his return to work plan, how did that go? How were they managing his injury? How were they...
Poorly, in my opinion. Poorly. I mean, Tish, when someone's injured back in the day, right? And maybe I'm too old school. When someone's injured, there's a rehabilitation process, right? It's not just he's back in training, boom, let's go. No. It's he's back in training, let me find a non-competitive game, play there for a couple of minutes, right? Then there's, okay, let's try a slightly competitive game, maybe for 45 minutes, off. Let's try maybe the last 10 minutes of the game, back off. You ease him in nicely. Literally, you just have to accept that for at least 3 or 4 or 5 games, I might not have this person, even though technically they're in training. Just accept that you don't have them. And sort of take it on bit by bit. What our manager's doing, my goodness. I mean, the guy did... look, it wasn't a career-ending injury, whatever the case may be, but it wasn't a good one. It was a bad one, right?
Yeah.
So that's way too quickly, in my opinion. I mean, if Bukayo Saka is fit by the end of the season by some miracle and he's back in training, common sense says don't play him at all. Just leave it. Let it lie.
Yeah.
But knowing our manager, if there's a chance he could play him back sooner, he would.
He will definitely do that.
He will definitely take advantage. 100%. So anyway, just going back on transfers, we have a history of not doing what's required. So am I hopeful that we're going to get a key signing that's going to make a difference? I have significant doubts. Now, let's deal with the links, right? There's the Rashford link. I don't want it. I do not want it.
It's funny because if you remember our first stream, I asked you, would you take Rashford? And then about a week later, rumors that Arsenal have called United asking about Rashford. Apparently, you guys value him at 21 million or something like that.
Yeah, I value him at -40. You need to pay us 40 to take him. Sorry. No, no, no. I don't want him. And again, I'm going for a title. I'm supposed to be going for a league title. I'm sick and tired of getting rejects. How about I go to a club and bully them and get their best player? A player that they don't want to let go of, and I'm like, I don't care, I'm taking it, right? Why
Yeah.
can't I pull a Fergie and go get Berbatov in his prime at a Spurs?
Yeah.
Why am I not doing that? Why am I rather getting Chelsea rejects, a Kai Havertz that we're not sure
But
of? We're getting possibly a Rashford that United doesn't want. I don't want
you
him.
guys, you guys, tell me what's your money situation like? Because like I was shocked with the Declan Rice deal and the price, because I think Arsenal have traditionally not made deals like that, right? Yes, there's been the odd thing here. There was Nicolas Pepe, who was 72, I think, at the time, and
Yep,
and
72.
and whatever. They've been sporadic ones here, but like I always view Arsenal as that guy who's gonna buy like cheap to mid, not like not record breaking type transfers kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so that Declan Rice transfer blew my mind. Now I'm wondering, like, what is the financial situation at Arsenal? Can you guys go and splurge 120k? I mean, 120m on someone. You guys want Isak? Isak's not gonna be cheap, bro. Isak
Yeah,
is gonna be. I mean,
yeah. I
Newcastle.
mean,
Newcastle saying
okay.
150. Obviously, that's for the media, but
Yeah, yeah. Obviously,
that's
that's to scare people away.
yeah, yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, here's the thing about finances, right? The owners have money. They just don't want to spend it as much as what I think that they should. That's one complication, right? That's always been historical, right? I mean, on average, they've invested 20 million a year since they've become owners. That's nothing, right?
Yeah.
Abramovich does hundreds each year, whatever the case may be, but
It's
back in his
20
prime.
million a year more than the Glazers over the past 15 years. But yes. But yes.
That's one way of putting it, right? Then there's FFP, right? And FFP, yeah, it's real. I mean, it does affect our spending, but it also infuriates me because now all those Arsenal fans that I've seen having debates, sort of excusing 30 mil wasted here, 18 wasted there, 10 wasted here. Ah, it wasn't that much. This was only 7. This was only whatever. Yeah, Havertz, yeah, it's an experiment. Let's give him a chance. Guys, Havertz and Fabio Vieira is 100 mil, just the two of them, right?
Yeah.
We're not convinced about Havertz. The 35 is looking like a waste so far. Then there's Samuel Lokonga for 18. That's 120
Yeah.
million. Then there's a Nuno Tavares for another 7. That's 120 something odd million.
Yeah.
These things
And
accumulate, and you ask yourself that had you actually spent that 120 million wiser,
yeah.
would you not have a better squad?
Yeah. I used to think, like, I was actually shocked the other day, because I think Havertz is almost on 300, like two high twos, like 280 somewhere there.
260, 270, somewhere
Like,
there. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it, and I was like, wait, you guys actually pay? I'm checking here. Gabriel Jesus 265.
Yep.
Declan Rice 240.
Yep.
Odegaard 240. Partey 200.
Yep.
Saka 195. Saliba 190. Okay, and then 180 and down from there. But like, I didn't think that you guys had those types of salaries. Like, in your
we
club.
do. Oh,
that's wild.
Listen,
280.
Listen. Again, it's one of those things where what I miss from Wenger, and I hate to be saying this, is Wenger was a shrewd businessman at times. I mean, for example, look, yes, he spent on the cheap and we hated it and we'd say, just go get the quality player. But I mean, think of guys like Santi Cazorla, right? Has Arsenal bought anyone near the caliber of Santi Cazorla in the past year since we've gotten him? No, we haven't.
No.
He cost like 16 mil.
Yeah.
We didn't break the bank for him.
Yeah.
Right? Guys like Olivier Giroud was 12 mil.
Yeah.
Yes, he wasn't the most clinical of striker, but
he
a
was
striker of his caliber.
He was a good buy. It was a good buy.
Exactly. Now we have guys like Solanke going for 65. He was a good buy. You understand?
Yeah.
He was shrewd. He would find the Nasri out of nowhere. He would find the Diaby. Obviously, injuries plagued his career, but he would find gems here and there. My question is, where is this manager finding similar type of gems? Is my question.
Yeah. No, that's an interesting one there. And I don't know what his network looks like, because apparently the reason Edu left was because of the power that Arteta was getting in the club or something like that, and he felt like it was encroaching in some of his role as a sporting director. So I don't know what Arteta's contacts are looking like, but I don't know where you guys are finding those guys. we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But just realistically, links aside and whatever, like, what do you want this window? What position do
What
you
do I
want to
want?
make sure? I mean, we know now Saka's gone, Nwaneri, but I think it's not a long-term injury, but he's injured for now. But just realistically, like what? Not who, just what position do you want to cover?
What positions?
You can throw in a
Look,
who if you've got a name, but like just
Nah, yeah, I haven't thought that far. I never get excited about Arsenal or Jen in the transfer market ever.
Yeah.
They just always disappoint you, so you just assume the worst.
Yeah.
I will leave the realism out of it because realistically speaking, I don't think we have the funds to cover everything I'm going to mention now.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
just
cool.
a fact, right?
Cool.
We need a killer up front.
100%.
That's it, right? We need an 8. Marino just isn't it. We need an 8.
Yeah.
Right? We need a backup for Odegaard, either in that Kai Havertz needs to play there and alternate with Odegaard, or we need a decent backup.
Yeah.
We need a right winger, right? We can't put that much pressure on a 17-year-old or 19-year-old. What is his age in Nwaneri, right?
Yeah,
he's a kid, guys. Come on, he's a kid.
No,
Stop it.
100%. Yeah,
right?
I think it's 17.
We need an adequate, exactly. We need an adequate Saka replacement in that I need to feel Saka's absence a whole lot less.
Yeah. Right now it's chalk and cheese. Eh?
It's peak.
It's peak.
You understand?
And you can't even count on Martinelli to say this guy's gonna because that guy he'll have a random blind of a game and then like he just goes.
Dude, the thing with Martinelli that irritates me, and I think it's partially of his manager as well. I'm not gonna put blame fully on him. Remember when Martinelli first came to the Premier League under Emery?
Yeah.
And he was scoring for fun.
Yeah. 100%.
Like 10, 11, 12 games on the bounce, I think. Something crazy like that. I think he had like 10 and 12.
Yeah.
He was scoring for fun.
Yeah.
That is instinct. That is natural. That is in a player. Where is it?
It got coached out of
I believe it exactly. I believe it's been coached out of it.
Yeah.
That's what I think. You know what I'm saying? So realistically, realism aside, that's what I would want, right? Yeah. Right winger, striker, 8, and a backup 10. Because in terms of 6, we have Thomas Partey when he's fit.
So Thomas Partey, let's speak on Partey. We won't go too heavy into the stuff, but I think we all know what he's allegedly, the allegations against him. And on top of that, I think is he not in his last year?
Yeah. No. He's leaving on a free if we don't renew his contract. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's in his last year. There's these allegations. As much as the club have, and like a lot of people are questioning why he's continued to play all this time and whatever, but that's neither here nor there for the purpose of this conversation. But then you wonder, as much as they're playing him now, will they renew with this thing hanging there as well? Because now you're making a fresh investment into this guy, and potentially he could be snatched away. So that's an interesting one there. So I'm wondering if you guys don't need a 6.
Yeah, but we've needed a 6. Declan Rice was supposed to be the 6. The problem with Declan Rice, and I was watching Lee Gunner's show, Big Up Lee Gunner, and I think Kenny Ken mentioned this, right? He said this about Havertz and Declan Rice. They are 2 tactically disruptive players.
Yeah.
What is Declan Rice's position and role in Arsenal's team? Because I'm not sure if him. Well, that part is clear, right?
Yeah, I'm joking.
But it's almost like, are we looking for a 6 in him, or are we looking for him to try build Frank Lampard, or a bit of both? Yeah. Because think about it. At West Ham, what is his role?
Yeah. No, he was
break up play,
release. Yeah, he was a 6.
What is he doing now? Driving with the ball.
Yeah. He's definitely not a 6 at Arsenal. I think that they're trying to make him an 8, trying to make him box to box. I don't know.
For 100 million, you're trying to make someone something. Guys, come on. Guys, come on. Stop wasting money. What's going on here? So that's the problem, right? And also, again, all of this could be over the fact that the guy is apparently playing with a broken toe. Guys, I don't know, but this sport is called football. And last I checked, your toe is a part of your foot.
Your toe is quite an important. It's quite important too.
And so your big toe on top of that, I believe, is the one that is broken, the one that actually helps you balance. Like if I chopped off your big toe right now, you wouldn't balance properly, right?
That's hectic.
He has a broken toe.
That is hectic.
Why are we playing someone with a broken toe? We played Ben White through an injury. Now he ended up getting surgery. And I think because we played him, now it's even longer than what he would have been. It's just, continuous mismanagement of what's already there. So another part of me as well is almost like I don't want to give this manager another penny.
Yeah.
He must die on this hill, and if he leaves, he leaves.
But now you also don't have a director of football now. So what's the plan? Because that's the thing. It's almost like now
It's a shamble, dude.
I
It's a
mean
mess.
the team is in Arteta's image, right? And it's
Yeah.
like so he better get it right for your case.
Look,
Otherwise,
my thing is get it right or leave. If I
Yeah.
was the owner, I'd say, my guy, I give you 165 million last season.
yeah,
Yes, obviously these things get paid out in installments, whatever the case
yeah,
may
yeah,
be, or
yeah.
whatever. I have backed you. We're literally 2, 3, 4 signings away from a billion. I have backed you.
Even if they get paid in installments as well, you've committed it on the books.
You've committed it, exactly,
So
right?
it's, yeah.
I
But yeah,
have backed you to the tune of almost 800 million.
Yeah.
Literally, that's 2, 3 more key signings away from a billion. I've backed you,
yeah,
right? You spent 35 on Vieira. He's not on the pitch. You've wasted that.
Yeah.
Lokonga, you told me, was the next Patrick Vieira. 18
Yeah.
mil. You've wasted that. Right? In Nketiah, you gave him 5 million and a new contract, and you gave him the Legends shirt. You
Yeah.
told me that you found your 9.
yeah,
That flopped. Emil Smith Rowe, you sold him for peanuts. You got rid of him.
Yeah.
You say you don't need him in the squad. Now there's a gaping hole in the squad, right?
yeah,
You bought Merino. You pushed us to go get him. Cool.
Yeah.
The guy's in his last year of his contract. We paid almost the release clause. Why? Okay, cool. I have given you almost 100 million in defenders.
yeah.
You still want to buy defenders. You bought an Italian that can't defend. Believe it or not, there's Italians that can't defend.
Bruh.
You found the one that can't defend, right?
Out of all of, yeah, that was
You understand? I mean, out of
Yeah.
legends that have been produced from that league, you found the one that can't defend. Okay, fine. Zinchenko, cool. You went to go City to shop at the sloppy seconds. Fine. You said mentality, they could add. Okay, cool. They've done nothing.
It's because they're his
You
brats,
understand?
because he was coaching them there, so he's got that.
And
money
that's why
money.
that's why I didn't want a novice to begin with, because nonsense like that doesn't feature. Mourinho, for example, is ruthless. Whether I like you or not, can you do the job? If you can, do it. If you can't, leave. It's
Yeah.
that simple, right?
Yeah.
Gabriel Jesus, we're paying him. You mentioned it now, 240 or something like that, and we paid him like 50 million for him. What is output? Nothing.
It's wild.
You know what I'm saying? So he's been
Purple
backed.
patch guy.
Yeah, he's been backed. He's
Yeah.
been backed. I wouldn't be
265.
surprised if the owner said there isn't money, sell to buy.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, good shot in a sense that, okay, fine, you like the ambition, but at the same time, let this manager face the consequences of his mismanagement. You've been giving a ton of money, you've spent it, make do with what you have.
And he's been in situ for a while now. I mean,
Yeah.
like what? He's fifth. Is it? He's
Fifth.
fifth. Yeah, no, he's been there for a while now. I think you can start wanting to hold him accountable now.
Exactly.
So
You spent the money, sorry, the strings are closed, figure it out.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you to send people out on loan. I didn't ask you to terminate contracts. I didn't ask you to do all this nonsense. Figure it out.
And they backed him. Aubameyang, the cancelling of the contract and stuff. No,
how much did that cost us?
The club has backed him. That's one thing
Ozil,
he can't say.
Ozil, you're forgetting Ozil. We paid him 20 mil to leave.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. But
20 mil to leave. Just 20 mil. There you go.
Yeah. Ozil's one
Aubameyang for free.
was that political thing, right? So maybe they paid him. That one you can maybe say the club got rid of him, not Arteta, because I think it was an optics thing.
Yeah, look, I think either way, it happened under your watch, it happened under your reign. We know that you have power, so you could have told the club, bugger off, this is my player.
Yeah.
Right? You have power. Because even when Edu was like, dude, are you sure about Aubameyang? He's like, I don't want him here.
Yeah.
We said, okay, cool, we've got your back.
Yeah.
Now here we are crying for goals and crying for a striker. Lo and behold.
It's wild, eh? It's wild, eh?
Yeah, so look, I know I've probably gone on around to whatever the case may be, but all the links that we have right now, I don't think they're going to result in anything really. I'd be very shocked if they do. And knowing Arsenal, they probably don't want to ruin the summer transfer plans and do something now in the winter.
Yeah, I hear you. The way some Arsenal fans are talking, you'd think that Isak is on loan to Newcastle and he's coming back.
Guys, okay. Here's the thing. And that's why, dude, Arsenal fans are the most insufferable, right? We have bare chest, talk the loudest, but 0 titles in 20 years. But anyway, here's the problem, right? Put Isak in our squad right now. Where is he getting the goal? How?
But Odegaard creates though. He creates. He doesn't have assists because there's no one up front, but he creates.
Cool. Is that his fault or the system?
Yeah, that's another conversation.
Dude, Against Newcastle, I can't believe I'm going to tell you this. Against Newcastle, Kai Havertz, 6'4", moved to the right wing.
Yeah.
Gabriel Jesus had come on, was in the center. Guess what the tactic was? Let's spam crosses into the ball. Our 6'4" winger is on the wing.
It's on the wing, yeah.
Our 6'4" striker is on the wing.
Target men
spamming
are
crosses in.
overrated. Target men are overrated
Who do
anyway.
you target man anyway? Dan Burn is 6'7".
Yeah.
Botman is 6'4".
Yeah, no, they'll
Jesus
swallow
is
that
5'4"
guy.
or something
They'll
silly like
swallow
that.
that guy alive, bro.
Guys.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, I don't even know where to start, dude. Marino, we bought him, cool. I don't see what value he adds.
Yeah.
All right. It looks to me like Arteta's trying to build a rugby squad, if anything. Just a bunch of tall, powerful players that can win set pieces, and that's it.
Marino came because he probably got Arteta probably got hyped when he was watching Spain in the Euros, and then he got hyped and he was like, "My fellow countrymen, come."
Nah, but that'd be atrocious because what did he overlook the fact that Spain for the first time in a tournament was direct?
Yeah.
If you pay attention to Spain, yes, they kept the ball. Yes, they were meticulous with it. They held on to it well. But the ball got into the net.
Yeah,
I mean, into the
100%.
box. Get the ball in there. Morata's up front. He's a target man. Get it in. Right?
No, definitely they managed to do
They
it.
drove crosses
Daniel Elmo there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do we do? UFO shape around the box until we find an opening.
Yeah. Anyways, enough of that. Big match coming up tomorrow. The FA Cup third round. Man, I'm so annoyed that this match is coming up in the third round, man. Like the flipping first round that we play, it's this. So we've got Arsenal who are on 14 trophies, the most in the FA Cup history. We've got United on 13 trophies, the second most in FA Cup history. So you guys have a direct chance to stop us from equaling your record. So that's a little side motivation for you guys there. Arsenal's last win, their last final that you're in, that you lost. You won it in, was it 2020 when you guys won it?
2020, yeah.
It was 2020. That was the year where Arteta came in and took over from Emirates mid-season. Before that, the last final that you lost, that you were in and lost, was 2001. You lost 2-1 to Liverpool in Cardiff, the Millennium Stadium. Jeez, we haven't heard about that stadium in ages. We obviously won it last season. So earlier this year, beating City 2-1, and our last loss was the year before at Wembley, losing 2-1 to City,
you see,
as well. So
the operative word in all these stats that you're quoting is final, right?
Yeah,
the final, not FA Cup fixture, FA Cup final.
Final, yeah.
The problem with our manager is how many finals has he been to since the one that he won of any tournament, let alone just the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Well, so
you have him saying here that no, when he won it, it was during COVID. There were no fans and stuff, so he's on a mission to win it so he can celebrate with the fans.
You mean the same fans that he blamed for walking out after the disastrous performance during the week, where he said that had they been here, maybe we would have found some motivation to sneak a goal in. Those fans.
Did they walk out?
Yeah.
well, yeah. I'm sure. That was the week. That was Newcastle, right?
Yeah, this week. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. No, I can imagine.
He said, he was saying to the interviewer,
I understand,
guys, how many times
fans.
have I said, that we need the fans, and then they walk out, we would have done with their motivation, they could have helped us get a goal. I'm like,
it's a slippery slope.
Slippery
slope there.
You know what I'm saying? So, are those the fans that he wants to celebrate with? Get out of here. Get out of here. Anyway.
Once you start with the fans like that, the cameras are rolling outside. They're waiting.
But then again, this is Arsenal fans, right? Let's remember that. We're dealing with a special kettle of fish, unfortunately, right? 2 wins on the bounce and everything is forgotten.
We're going to win the league.
Under the rug, under it goes, cover it, let's move on. Game tomorrow. Am I confident? Yes and no. I think the best time to play Arsenal from a United perspective is probably now. In that, yes, we're licking our wounds, but we were toothless.
Yeah,
we were toothless. It's not like we dominated the game and got unlucky. We were toothless. We were atrocious. We were terrible. Shambolic performance. And, so many players that we can't even rotate because they're just all
Yeah.
doing badly. Trossard is on a
Yeah.
terrible run of form. Martinelli,
Yeah.
terrible run of form.
Did
Kai Havertz has offered us close to nothing.
did Trossard reject a new contract just now?
Yes. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's
Very
interesting.
interesting.
Probably
Very
just wants more money, but like that's interesting.
Maybe.
Yeah. Does Arteta rotate in the cups?
Not really. Look, he's doing it now because he's under pressure.
Yeah.
Because we're not top of the league anymore, so we can't use the argument of we're focusing on the league. Bigger fish to fry, a certain Don Robbie said, right? And now it's like Liverpool are on it. Every time they've dropped the ball, we've dropped the ball as well. So if they pick up form and we don't pick it up, they're running away with it, and they have a game in hand.
Yeah.
Secondly, City are 6 points behind us, by the way.
Right, those guys are sneaking up, sneaking up. It feels like they've been on this terrible run, and I don't understand how City hadn't won in it almost got to 9, 10, 12 games, something like that. And I know obviously that's all comps, but like it feels like you guys should have had a bigger gap while they were busy in the situation.
Liverpool as well, yeah. Both of us are supposed to be at least 10 points clearer than. We weren't focused.
Yeah.
Because they drop, we drop. Yeah. They lose, we draw. They lose, we draw. And I'm like, guys, just win.
Yeah.
Get 3 points and let's move on.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care how you win, just get 3 points and let's move on. Right? So anyway, about tomorrow's game, my lack of confidence comes from the rubbish that I saw this week, not because it came out of nowhere, but because it was predictable. Right? Yeah. We have not been good this season.
But
despite
home,
the captions, Arsenal are scary and all this rubbish that you see online. We have not been good this season. We've been good in patches here and there, but overall, our style of play is not that good. It's not great.
Yeah.
Right? We're Stoke FC. We're set piece merchants. Even the last time we played, you guys were set pieces. And open play, we did nothing.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I was like, I think that last game gave me a bit of confidence.
Yeah.
And also obviously our recent performance versus Liverpool, and also just the fact that we've had a week between games. We had a week before the Liverpool game to prep. We saw some of the seeds of that. We've got another week now to prep for this thing. And Ruben Amorim being a new guy in the club, he's finally getting some time to like work on details with the guys, right? And whatever. So that plus our previous performance, I don't think I've ever been this confident coming to the Emirates. And like, not like I'm fully aware that we could go there and we could lose. That's fine. But one thing that I'm confident of is we will give you a game. We will definitely
for sure.
And we've got a good chance of winning. If we lose, it's not the end of the world. I think you guys have our number. It's at the moment. But it won't be like any of the other games you've had in recent years.
Definitely. No, for sure. I mean, the reason why I would also be confident mildly in your shoes is also because you have a manager that is actually experienced and knows what he's doing. And time again, we've seen that when our manager goes up against someone that has any tactical nuance and know-how and knows how to actually plan and win and manage a game properly, we struggle. We just struggle, right? Yeah. Again, set pieces aside, what did we do to you guys?
Yeah, no, you guys, no,
toothless.
Nothing.
Completely toothless.
Nothing. First off, started. We were compact. We were organized. You guys didn't know what to do, and then we started. We started going for. You guys didn't know what to do.
And then the set pieces out of nowhere came again.
Set pieces changed again. Yeah,
exactly. And even against Newcastle, right? It was one of those games where it started where we could have scored. We could have been 2-3 up before they even got their goal. It was like an entertaining match. And again, Arteta has this knack of PTSD. Sometimes he suffers from it because he will play expensive football. And if he suffers from it or doesn't get over the line, it's almost like he retreats into his defensive, sort of let's keep it back, let's play more controlled football, let's win with the defense type of nonsense. So a part of me is like, okay, you played the best squad you possibly could during the week to Newcastle and you got slapped at home. You got absolutely slapped.
Yeah.
You got slapped. You understand?
Yeah.
And Newcastle didn't have their star midfielder, by the way, right?
Yeah.
And their star defender in Fabian Schär. Exactly. We got slapped. So something tells me, is he going to try that again? Is he going to say, okay, I'm going for United? Or is he going to do the whole, okay, let's control, let's restrict, let's not keep ourselves open? In other words, is he, quote unquote, going to be a coward about it and say, I don't want to lose? And try to hold
I think he'll go for it. I think out of pride, he's going to go for it. I'm expecting Arsenal's strongest team. I'm expecting for him to go for it. And I'm here for it. come through, bro. Like I want. Well, see, I was gonna say I was expecting the exact same team versus Liverpool because everybody's had time to rest. But Ruben Amorim did confirm yesterday that Altay Bayindia will start in goal. So that's that's the
Set
only
piece
little
FC.
that's the only little asterisk.
We are winning.
But also,
Sets.
but also, I think about it. I'm like the Tottenham game by India. I mean, him and Fraser Forster were just going band for band with like
Yes.
terrible,
They were
terrible
competing for the
errors.
worst
But
goalkeeping performance of the season.
but it was crazy. I was thinking about it. I'm like, that guy they scored. I didn't even know it was called an Olympico because it's a FIFA thing. It doesn't even happen. Scoring directly from the corner in a real professional match. That happened.
You know,
but then Onana conceded the same goal the same week.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
so it's kind of like Onana is not in his best form. He had a decent game against Liverpool. He pulled through one or two games, but like he's definitely dipped from early season.
Absolutely.
He's definitely dipped.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering now they've had some time to train and stuff. Maybe it's not the end of the world with him. I just hope that the rest of the team is the same. Mazraoui right wing back, De Ligt right centre back. It's not his best position, but I think Maguire is good at centre back. And then we've got Martinez left centre back, Dalot left wing back. Under the circumstances, I think that is put maybe our best. What he might do maybe is put Lenny Euro there on the right centre back instead of the left. But I don't know if he's going to do that. And then you've got Ugarte and Mainu in the midfield, and then he'll have Ahmad and Bruno as the 10s and Hoyland. I think he has to do that. Garnacho shouldn't start for me. He can come on as a sub, but he's not a starter for me at this point in time. And if I look at that team, like really, Lenny Euro for De Ligt is about the only change I am willing to make because we need players.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a predictable lineup and what I would expect for Amorim to do, especially because you're not playing some random club from the third or fourth tier of football. You're playing Arsenal, right? And you got a very good performance from most of these players against Liverpool. You got to really spend time with these guys.
Yeah.
You know that you're coming to the Emirates where possession are probably going to dominate. So you need guys that can run, you need legs, you need people that can press properly. But at the same time, you need maturity and experience in that you need guys that know when to press and to sort of keep a solid defensive shape.
Exactly.
So it can't be just pace power merchants running all over the place. You need experience. You need guys that can read the game very well, which is why Maguire, I mean, ever since he's implemented this back three, Maguire's looked like a different player all of a sudden. Right?
No, for sure. And I think he's comfortable with it. Yeah. He's comfortable because Southgate was playing him there a lot as well in the England thing. So I think it's a position
which is why there's such a disconnect between his club form and international form. International form is like, okay, there's no one actually better in that position. Because they tried the Lewis Dunks and them and they just struggled, right? So I can see that happening and I can see why that can be good. And the only thing that worries me is our mentality. I don't know where the headspace of our team is at, number one. Number two, Arteta is not one to just consistently have a go, fail, and keep having a go. He's going to tinker. He's going to do something.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that he doesn't do something like that and he actually sticks to his guns. But at the same time, our players are just out of form. There's so many players out of form, right? Declan Rice is not looking like the same player.
Yeah.
Is it all on him? Is it partly on the fact that he's a broken toe and the manager keeps playing him? I don't know. Right, Thomas Partey, very good midfielder. He tends to have very good games for us every now and again. You know what I mean? So he's probably our best player and our most consistent player, one that I can back.
Yeah, you've got your defense back, right? So Partey's going to be he's going to be in midfield.
He better be.
Yeah,
I will lose my mind if he isn't. He better be.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't want Arteta getting flashbacks and nightmares and nonsense and putting Timber on the left and Partey on the right flogging the midfield with DL.
No, we will definitely beat you. We will definitely
beat understand. You. But again, Tish, our left back position is still not what it needs to be, right? Because we've got Lewis Skelly, who's actually a midfielder, by the way. I found out during the week. He's a midfielder. Playing a left back. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That kid is good. He's got potential, eh?
He's got potential, but the problem is how often does Arteta make young players better? versus just scapegoat them.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm saying? So it's
your
like,
man
okay,
Arteta.
exactly. So it's like, okay, cool. You're gonna play Skelly in the left back position. He's gonna invert.
Mm,
Looks like that's what you do with the left back, no matter what. They just keep
yeah.
inverting. Fine, go ahead and do it. Is he probably my first choice for left back right now? Yes. Do I
Mm,
like the fact that he inverts and Arteta's stuck up to this inverting nonsense? Yes. Hate it.
yeah.
Right? What happened to just a full back? Can you go up and down?
Just
Can you
up the way.
defend? And
Yeah.
can you cross a ball? That's it.
Yeah, that's whole inverting and becoming a
Fundamentals of being a fullback.
midfielder
That's
and
it.
like that's it. Yeah.
And then
That that's
that way you can have a double pivot to make
yeah,
sure that you show up the defense.
yeah.
But
Dalot
at
was
least you
struggling
have
with
an outlet
yeah.
on the left there.
Diogo Dalot was struggling with that a lot when Amarim
Exactly.
came in because the
Exactly.
first thing he wants to do he wants to invert and it's like my
Hmm.
guy you need to provide the width you need to
Thank you.
stretch like
Thank you.
yeah.
You understand? Because the problem is Martinelli is often stranded there on the left by himself, but
Mm,
he might even play on the right, and Trossard might play on the left. And
yeah.
for some reason, really, when he starts games, he's trash. Trossard, he's
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah.
He's like been off the bench or whatever, you know. So
Sleeper sub.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm on the fence, man. I'm on the fence. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I think this week's performance, I saw it coming.
Yeah.
Right? Lots of Arsenal fans have been in denial, but there are some fans, including myself, where the performances just have not been good. I've rarely this season walked in confident to any game. Very rarely
So
have I walked in
so
confident.
all that said and done, and to wrap up, what's your score prediction? What are you thinking?
There's no extra time, right? It's straight to penalties if there's a draw.
I'm not sure. I know definitely the match ends on the day, but I think there may be if I don't know what the new rules are. Let's check. I know the Premier League teams were complaining about the fixture. If any game, it's extra time. Extra time.
Extra time.
Yeah. There's just no replays, but
Yeah.
extra
Okay.
time.
So
Yeah.
that's what they cut out the replay.
That's what they cut
Okay.
out
Cool.
the replay. Yeah.
Let's see. Do I back Arsenal to beat Man United in 90 minutes? I think prediction, I'm going for a draw to be settled on penalties. And it's probably going to be, I think, 1-1.
1-1 and then penalties.
1-1 and then settle on penalties. Who wins on
yeah.
penalties? I don't know.
Yeah. I think it depends. Like we've had a mentality problem where if we concede first and under Emirates actually and that conceding first has been we had this thing where we concede right after half starts. First half, second half, doesn't matter. Like within 3 minutes, we're down already. So for me, when we were watching the Liverpool game, I was actually like I had like 5 minute celebrations. Like, okay, cool. We made it to 5 minutes. Nothing's happened. Cool. 10 minutes and whatever. For me, I think it would be interesting to see what the mentality is like after that Liverpool game and after the guys have seen that we are actually capable if we just get our stuff together here.
Exactly.
I think if we can just weather the first 10 minutes, I think it'll finish in the 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think we could thug it 2-1. I think we can thug it 2-1. And I feel like if we lose, I think it will also be 2-1. But I've got this 2-1 score line in here. But yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hoping for a 2-1 victory. We'll see how it goes. For me, to be honest, I've written off the season. So if we lose, it is what it is. Just keep working with you guys. We go next year, but hopefully we can do something.
All right, let's see it.
Cool.
Yeah, draw, and I think we'll beat you on penalties. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
I think I'm.
Rashford is actually quite good on penalties. It's sad that we won't have him if we get there, but it is what it is. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for joining in, for watching. We will see you guys tomorrow. Remember, we'll be doing a live stream or a live watch along rather of the game tomorrow. So yeah, look out on socials. We'll confirm the time. We'll probably go live like 10-15 minutes before the game. But we'll be back with the full crew tomorrow. Remember to like the video, subscribe. Peace.
Yes,